Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. Negative self-talk plays a major role in how we create fear and anxiety. You're probably familiar with that worried, insecure, or critical voice that rises from somewhere deep inside, often at the most inopportune moments. You don't seem to choose the limiting, anxiety-triggering, or self-sabotaging thoughts, nor do you seem to be in control of them. Over the years, I've found that rather than ignoring or suppressing these negative thoughts, what works best is to redirect the mind with at least 3 counterbalancing arguments that shed light on the opposite, positive points of view. For example, if your negative thought was something bad will happen, counterbalances could be, right now I'm okay. There have been many times I was worried and everything turned out well. I have the strength and abilities to handle anything that comes my way. Positive counterbalancing is training your mind to search for and find uplifting and empowering perspectives for any given situation.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's so great to be connecting with all of you today. I mean, it's amazing. We've got an amazing show. You know, Ataana Badili joining me here today in a minute. Energy Works Radio with Ataana, activating self-healing and awakening your potential. It's such an important conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about exactly how is it that energy work actually works. Ataana and I, Dr. Pat, I am your co-host for today, are going to be offering our insight into what we've discovered over time that works and what we've discovered doesn't work. Every conversation, you know, what we'll talk about is how do we start with a thought and an idea, and how do we do that in a way that makes things just absolutely amazing. And so for many of us here, we are looking at ways that each and every one of us can connect. Each and every one of us can take things to a level that we've never done before and step in to something pretty amazing. And so for those of you out there, this is a show that we've all been meant to have. This is a show that every single one of us who's ever had an idea is ready to talk about the expansive nature of energy. What is it? How does it work? Well, you know, to be part of that flow, and that's an interesting term, isn't it? But this is the work Ataana has been doing for decades with people, you know, helping folks understand their unlimited potential. Many of you have heard about the Ataana method. You can go to AtaanaMethod.com. You know, you can follow his work on YouTube and on LinkedIn and many of the other places. But when it boils down to it, you want to be looking at and working with someone that knows exactly how energy works. Ataana, it's great to have you here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm happy that technology makes all of this transformation happen to be connected to the world, you know?
Absolutely. You know, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go to a really quick break. So that what we can do, Ataana, is that we're going to step into this flow of energy.
Yeah.
And we're going to walk through this with our listeners uninterrupted today. It's a huge conversation because sometimes what happens with us, we think that we are in a small energy. Our lives are smaller, energies are small. Today, we're going to blow the doors off of that. Ataana Badili, along with me, Dr. Pat Basili. Yeah, we planned that. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tim Darter.
And I'm Steve Kramer.
Join us on Spirit Fire Radio. Discover how to add the mechanics of meditation to your day.
And watch yourself connect in a whole new way. Find the amazing moments in life's routines that often pass us by. Add to your awareness with Spirit Fire Radio.
Tune in each Wednesday at 9 a.m. for your weekly guide to practical mindfulness. And to learn more, visit www.spiritfireradio.com.
What if your body and mind were the compasses to the secrets, mysteries, and magic of life? Glenna Rice, co-host of The Questionable Parent, is inviting you to access all that is possible. Glenna is a 10-year certified veteran access consciousness facilitator who offers an amazing variety of life-changing classes and workshops. Work with Glenna from anywhere with teleclasses and workshops all over the globe. To learn more and see Glenna's current schedule of events, classes, and workshops, visit glennarice.com.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Ataana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Ataana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, ataanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's ataanamethod.com.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pat. The ancient Inca root vegetable maca is world-renowned for its wide array of health benefits. As a family-run company of true maca specialists, the maca team's mission is to provide you with fresh, organic, premium quality maca powders at a fair price. Amazing. All of the products are always organically grown, fair-traded, GMO-free, fresh, and potent. So don't take my word for it. Experience the life-changing benefits of maca today. Visit themacateam.com.
Do you want the freedom to spend more time with your loved ones? Travel the world? Live spontaneously? Get ready, because the Chip Justice Show is here. Hosts Dr. Pat Basili and Chip Justice can help you build meaningful success while embracing life. Living a life you love is the end game in this new, inspirational, and empowering show. Positive changes for a life you'll love. Tune in every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit PositiveChangeInstitute.co for more information.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Get into it for 2016. Do you want more prosperity, clarity, energy, and balance in your life? Join Lynn Brown now through March for one of her amazing workshops, each focusing on a key part of living your best life. For more information and to register for one of these amazing workshops, visit lynnbrownevent.com. That's lynnbrownevent.com. And get into it this 2016 with Lynn Brown.
To Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fontaine on TransformationTalkRadio.com. And get ready to stir up your passions, remove your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Speaker, teacher, channel, clairvoyant, Leslie Fontaine is a transformation catalyst who channels a powerful energy from source to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
Wow, everyone, welcome back. It's great we're going to rock it right through here. Ataana Badilli joining me here today. I'm Dr. Pat. Many of you know us. Energy Works Radio with Ataana, activating self-healing and awakening your potential. Why? Because what energy actually does work, but how? Exactly how does energy work? And we're going to be taking your calls today. You guys know 1-800-930-2819. Very, very cool. How does energy work? What happens, though, when energy doesn't work for us? What happens with that? What does that actually mean? Well, let's think about that. Why is it some people can manifest everything in their lives and then some of us can't? Is energy small for some people and big for others? Ataana, what do you think of that? Welcome. It's great. Big topic today, right?
Yes, thank you for having me, Pat.
Sure.
It's a very big topic, powerful, specifically when we sometimes look at in comparison from where we at with other people in our transformation, in our healing, even on our enlightenment path. How some people are so much further and we think we have to do so much more. And a lot of that has to do with belief systems and paradigms that we either inherited or grew up with, or that we believe in it should take. Sometimes the healing process can, for example, take a month or a year, depending on what you're working on. And it can take a week to 2 weeks, depending on what you're working on. And a lot of the times I realize in my life, it's really, my question is, what is my higher self trying to teach me, and then really trying to get that lesson a little bit faster if I want to speed up the healing process or the transformational process. And with energy work, what is so beautiful is you can really integrate the energy work into whatever the belief systems are, whatever the topics are that you're working on, because the energy work works. So energy works so that some people think we have to do the work, but energy works means the energy does the work. Our work is really can be described as just being open to the acceptance and to the unlimitedness and allowing it to take place. And that is really our work. Then the energy does the rest of the work. Energy work is because you are basically funneling the energy into a specific topic, and once you funnel it in, the energy starts the transformational process, and by that being said, it will charge whatever the topic is magnetically strong enough so it can then attract its own solution. Sometimes when we say energy work, and I work in a lot of different areas of the alternative medicine as well, but sometimes we need a surgeon, and sometimes we need somebody else that is outside of us. And energy work can also help you to attract the right person for whatever you need to work on. So do you have the perfect solution in that frame of the best solution for yourself? And that can make it much easier once the topic or whatever the deficiency is being cleared, and then you're charging it, and then it will attract its own solution. The thing is, there's a solution. There's a solution for every pollution, I almost wanted to say.
Yeah, right.
But there's a solution for every problem. And the idea is really just connecting with that energy of solution and then allow the energy work to do the rest.
Well, let's talk about what that means. Let the energy work do the rest. Because I love this topic today. One of the things that we love talking about, especially when we're thinking about what the energy is so far this year, is the accelerated pace of things. And, someone asked me, Ataana, and let's talk about this for a minute if we could. Someone asked me, why did I think it was an accelerated and expanded energy? And my answer was, I think because as a collective consciousness of people around the globe, we really got sick and tired of being stuck in the dialogue of economic restrictions, of banks and foreclosures. And we really got tired of being in the energy that lacked complete creativity. And it affected people all over the world. It affected me, it affected you, it affected all of us. But yet we did not have a way to help ourselves out of it, right? So you're telling people and working with all of us to say, wait a minute, this is how energy works. We don't have to have a super duper economy to get it to work for us, right?
Exactly. And when you say it affected all of us, that's the whole idea of the economic crisis, is getting basically people to a place where they have to compromise, and then you have to, in some ways or form, you have to less to choose, and you will be much more willing to compromise yourself. But here's the thing, even though there's a lack consciousness program around the world, the internal unlimitedness of our source always will come through. You know how when we really open ourselves to our unlimitedness, we know, like, internally, we know that we are unlimited beings. And a lot of the times we're wondering, why is that not applicable immediately here on the planet? And if you really look at it in stages, it is. If you look even at the world records in running, how fast people run, they're like every year they're running faster. And ideally, next time, it's going to be a zero going from point A to B, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where it's heading. So ideally, you want to focus on recognizing that the lack consciousness programming is something, I feel it was pretty much always around the planet for a long time, because it does help to keep the unlimited system in a controlled environment. Every time you get into your unlimitedness, you're less likely to be a good taxpayer to do what you're being asked to do. So if you step into your healthy boundaries and into your healthy heart, and you get into a place where you recognize this is a good thing to do, this is not so healthy, and you're really starting to do the right things in your life, a lot of the things will fall into place. And with energy work, you can create your own environment, like your own aquarium. Even though we are not under the sea level here, we're not in the ocean, we still can have an aquarium that has the perfect condition for a saltwater fish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we can create our own aquarium for ourselves, and we can be in that contained, perfect balance, pH, alkalinity, everything in a perfect salinity levels, everything fine, and we can be in that perfectly abundant, prosperous, well-being place without that we feel we have to necessarily be always being watching what's happening from the outside and going with the outside currents. Of course, I'm more like, consider myself like a salmon. I'm swimming like against the stream, but ultimately that makes you stronger. And if I really look back, I always looked for what is the ideal solution, what is like the ideal flow, how to get into the perfect currents, because there is a science in every motion. There is a science and something to learn into every experience that human life has to deliver. It's not about just, oh, I feel good, I feel bad.
Right.
No, this is like, where's our curiosity, where we see, okay, why is it happening exactly? What wants to be done here? What needs to be done here? Who wants me to do what? Who wants me to think, to feel in what way?
Right.
That is something that is very fascinating for me. That's like a part of human experience, instead of like, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is rich, this is poor. This is kind of boring to me, because there's so much more, there's so much richness in life of experiences. And when we go into the depth of it, that's truly like the soil or fertile soil where humanity can grow in. And a lot of the times, of course, it's important to pay the bills. First of all, have the focus that you align yourself with your own creative source. Get over your disconnectedness is the number one motion that I can recommend today. Is the disconnectedness that we're feeling, that we're harboring. Bring this to the surface, allow it to be clear, allow that to be healed, and then get yourself back into that connectedness of all of existence with your source, with God, whatever your belief system is, if that's your Christ consciousness, your Buddha consciousness, your oneness consciousness, and connect yourself with that source so that your source can fully see you. Align yourself with that source so that your source can fully provide for you, so you don't feel like you're you're like set out on planet Earth as an alien.
I know. And you know what? Who doesn't feel like we're on planet Earth as an alien a lot of the time? And, you know, this is really for people listening today. And I'm going to just say to everyone, you know, you are absolutely welcome to give us a call in the show, 1-800-930-2819. Absolutely welcome to do that today, because Ataana and I have talked about this. And that is, how can we help people? How can we offer insight about, you know, what this work can do to clear things up, to let our greatest, best version of ourselves show up. And in the process of it, you know, Einstein said this, Ataana. I mean, clearly, Einstein talked about creativity and imagination. You know, I you know, it would be different if you and I are just having a chat about imagination. Many people would think, well, what did we even mean? I think to this day, Ataana, we don't fully understand the absolute significance of that quote by Einstein, right? We just
absolutely
don't understand that, because he was really talking about imagination and quantum leaping, wasn't he?
Absolutely. And he was referring to the ideas of really holding that image, that ideal image in your mind, and have that as a template for the universe to fill. It's almost like coloring book with the numbers. You basically have this coloring book, this template where you put it out, and there's like number 1 is red, number 2 is green, and you have this little scale there. And you basically, even if you bring in this black and white drawing, drawing image of what it is that you want, the universe will fill in the blanks. But if how more defined you bring it out there, of course, how easy it's going to manifest. And of course, it's a little bit more complex if you look into your energy. A lot has to do with, what is the focus span that I really have? Because a lot of people say, well, I focus on this and this, and it didn't happen. Well, first, find out what is your true focus span throughout the day. Because a lot of people think they're very focused, but they are like running from tablets to phone to computer to shopping, back home, to work. And what we don't realize is a lot of the times our focus span, our concentration span, is very much limited. And if we expand that focus span to meditation, to chanting, to just allowing ourselves to have space, that is where we can create and project unlimited, unobstructed images of what we would like to happen into the universe so it can be received. Yeah. A lot of the times when we send a picture out, we just have like, oh, I have this ideal picture, I have my wishing board, my desire board, and then I do this for 5 minutes, and that should happen. But if you really want it to happen, you should do this 24 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. And this is really part of it. Do you and I think, I don't think for 1 minute, Ataana, that if Einstein, and I love talking about him in this context, if he wasn't walking the talk and practicing that 24/7, right? Imagination versus knowledge. If he was not doing that 24/7, I do not believe this would be the Einstein that we're talking about today.
that might be absolutely right.
Right.
Well,
right.
Well, and if you really look at the depth of the in between written invisible lines that he left us, he gave us a lot of hints about the divine, about the true makeup of the multiverse, the universe, and more will be discovered as we go on. And the problem is a lot of the things are just too simple. We just are used to complex equations, and sometimes when it gets too simplified, we just say it cannot be that simple because we are all so complicated. We had to learn to integrate so many systems and ideas, and a lot of them were not immediately useful. right? And so we now start to really cleaning the clutter of these systems that we integrated, and we are realizing how more space we have for our unobstructed view of the image that we would like to happen, or the healing process that we would like to take place, how fast that's going to happen. The idea is not to create necessarily many more middle people, but actually get to the place where we are immediately communicating with our source and we get an immediate response. That's the ideal manifestation or creation part. Because if you really look at it, and I want to go here a little bit deeper so that we understand what is really entailed in here. Consider this. We have a mental body. We have a spiritual body. We have a physical body. We have an emotional body. We have an astral body. So all these 5 bodies have different ideas of what they want, right?
Right.
The emotional body just wants to be cuddling right now and just being loving right now. The mental body wants to work on world problems right now. And the physical body wants to work out now. So all of these are impulses that want to be done in the moment. And then, by the way, we want to step into our spiritual enlightenment. So you can imagine we're sending about 5 different images out to the universe. And what is the universe going to send us? We're going to diffusing here basically our focus. Now, if our spiritual body wants the same thing, our mental body wants the same thing, our emotional body wants the same thing, and our physical body wants the same thing, now that's going to be without any diffusion, without any detour, we're sending out a clear image to the universe, to our creative source, and we're asking it then to be fully returned. Right?
And one of the things that we're also talking about is stepping into a world, right? And this is really, this is one of the underpinnings of this, stepping into a world where we look at this idea of knowledge and we say to, and this is really the truth of this, look, there's a box that I have in my sphere of knowledge. It is a box. I am limited by what's in that box. But what is it that will allow me to hold a different vision? So how can I, in Einstein's words, in the words of many, many others, embrace the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand? Isn't that energy?
Absolutely. Well, that's when we step into our source consciousness or our oneness consciousness or in our divine beingness.
Yeah.
And when we connect with it, we are literally getting out of the box because we are realizing there's no walls.
Right.
Right. And then that's when we get out of our mental limitational buildings that we have created over the years.
Yeah.
And what we believe is the reality.
Yeah.
Right.
It is, and part of this today is talking about what are the possibilities. What does the shift look like if we understand how energy works? What does the shift look like? The other part of this, Ataana, is that understanding that sometimes, at least this is true for me, that I need help sometimes because I can't see what I can't see in myself. Other people can see it. But if I'm not accustomed to working with energy, then I have to really begin to learn from somebody that is, right? I mean, in today's world, Einstein's quote, if you'd have given me that quote to me when I was 17 years old, trying to, figure out how not to be homeless, I may or may not have gotten it. But I will tell you this is, my shift from being homeless to not homeless was a part of imagination. I had to be able to see the possibility. And a guy in a hotel that I didn't even know, owning a hotel, giving me a room for free to get me off the streets. And if I didn't see that, I wouldn't have driven my car around the highway to the Greenbrook Motel and begged him and promised to pay him back. See, isn't that as simple as we can get when we're thinking about shifting from an energy that is of lack to an energy that could provide us with much more? We can begin at places like that, can't we?
Absolutely, and that's where it's starting. It starts really on the micro level. It starts like in that moment. It starts really literally when we get up in the morning. even when we go to bed, even our thoughts. What are our thoughts promoting in this moment? Am I thinking I can or I can't? And when you ask about the energy work, one of the first things that I'm teaching in the energy healing classes that I'm teaching is really connecting to the energy system, just as simple as the chakra system, and knowing exactly what is going on in our energy field. Because our energy field is the major attractor of our reality. Our blueprint for what we're going to experience throughout the day is a whole lot depending on how is our energy levels adjusted or flowing, and where are our energy levels, and what levels are there. And of course, we have like an individual plan. We want to experience this, or that. And a lot of the time, we have little space for life in general because we are so planned out. We are so maxed out with the planning. And a lot of the times, we really don't have the time and space to really enjoy life as it's happening, as it's unfolding in the different realities. And how more time and space we are dedicating it, how more creativity can come in. And the first thing that I'm teaching in my energy healing classes is really how much is it that you really want to see? Because the classes go out to a psychic awakening. Then the next thing is really seeing where are the energy levels? Where are we really at? What is my energy field saying? And what is it that I'm saying? Is that an alignment? And if not, I align my energy field with my intentions. And energy work can help us with that, Pat.
Yeah. Well, what we're talking about, Ataana, is really how to do this, how to align that energy or the energy that we have towards our abundance, how to align that in a way that's going to get us from where we are today to where we want to go, right? Because I was saying this to someone before, and what I was saying was, okay, you do want to take care of your debt. You do want to heal your body, right? I mean, I don't know about you. Have you ever met anyone really that wants to kind of stay stuck in wherever they're stuck?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And what happens with that is that sometimes, you can experiment with getting yourself to the next level. But boy, I'll tell you, I was stuck at many different points of my life until the point of so much discomfort that the pain of staying the same became greater than the pain of change. But today, right, we live in the world today where we don't have to stay in the pain, right?
Yeah, we don't. We actually have to look at where are these density levels and energetically saying, I see the energy as a flowing system, light flowing system, and pain looks as a dense, cloudy frequency sometimes,
Yeah.
And once we identify the source for it, or why we attracted it in the first hand, or why we agreed to be part of that experience, that can help us already to change the experience by itself, because we're already signalizing that we understood the lesson and that we are willing to either flow with it, understand it, and accept it or transform it, or that we even got the lesson. A lot of the times when these things happening, they are getting us back in making our awareness greater for our unlimited prosperity. How less likely we understand that we are unlimited prosperous beings, how tougher it's, I would say how more we understand that we are unlimited prosperous beings, how easy it's going to be with the integration of anything that life or past lives throw at us, because we know that we have all the tools, all the possibilities. A lot of the time, look, people don't go to their follow-ups. A lot of people don't even feel they can go to a hospital to get what they need for surgery or the medicine that they want sometimes. And it's not even about it, or the treatment, or even the alternative treatment. It's more about even sometimes people say, I don't even have the money to buy organic food because they say it's so expensive. And a lot of the time, you can just start with the simplest thing. Add just one more thing that is truly soul-satisfying, that's truly life-affirming, that helps your life. A lot of people are so beaten down, they don't even know where to start anymore. They don't even have the energy to even want to go there because they have already set their goal to the perfection. They don't see the process anymore. We want to just pick up the guitar and we want to be just Carlos Santana, you know.
Yeah.
And we have to get to this place where we understand, appreciate the process. Know it with curiosity. You can start at any day to implement, even if it's just one organic food a day that raises your consciousness level. Even if you get yourself a little bit better water. Even if you get yourself a little shower filter to get your consciousness clean. But people feel so lost, so polluted, that you don't even feel they can start anymore. And that's the shame.
Yeah. I mean, previously you've talked about scarcity. Let's talk about this. It's important to talk about it because if we don't have a conversation about it, Ataana, if you and I do not have a conversation about it, then, I get emails, you probably get emails with people saying, wait a minute, you two are really in denial if you don't think this energy exists. And believe me, I know this energy exists because I've experienced it. Today's show, though, right, and the work that you do is to help us move beyond that. I don't think you and I are saying, oh, wait a minute, fear doesn't exist, doubt doesn't exist, scarcity doesn't exist, poverty doesn't exist. We're not saying that, right?
No.
But boy,
no.
wouldn't this be a very different election if every single person that was running made a commitment not to say something harmful about the other person? What would happen with that energy? And, just that simple thing. It doesn't matter who you believe in for a political election. This is not a political show. This is a show about energy, and energy begets energy.
Absolutely. And when you really go back into the understanding that this is not denial, this is acceptance. We're accepting the fact. A lot of people, I'm not coming across many of these people. I know you hold much bigger space there for the umbrella of the transformation. You probably have a lot of people in much more ignorant places. They don't understand what we're talking about, But
and also, I base it on my own personal experience. I mean, I didn't pop out like this. For the first half of my life, I was that ignorant person there at times.
Well, that's probably why I'm. If I look at it in the beginning of my energy work, when I did energy work, I literally did a lot contained for myself. I did a lot of energy work on myself because society couldn't really fully handle this. So I would go to places and do healing work there. And, wherever I was, I did my healing work, planted basically the healing energy, the energy work in different places on the planet. And there was not something I made a big deal out of it either. It's just, it was just something that I felt like it's a natural thing to do for me, giving thanks to Mother Earth and doing energy work to bring healing energy into it and bring more healing awareness into the consciousness of humanity. Now, we have to understand a lot of the political stuff that is, of course, that is a interest market, that is career politicians, A really good way to reset that system is just don't vote for anybody until they get out of the system 3-4 times back to back, and then get some people in there that are not career politicians, That might be an idea, but I cannot really say anything about it because the system is not really bothering me. It always was, and in duality was there, and there's always a polarizing effect. Now, if they would just be talking good about each other, it wouldn't really do much anything. They still would do whatever they do. But the negativity that people put out there, it is powerful because it has a gravitational pull.
Yes.
And when we hear, as humanity, we are built up to be wired to kind of negativity because we are solution-oriented beings. So whenever we see a problem, we want to find a solution. So we look automatically of what's wrong so that we can change it, make it better. That's our nature.
Yeah.
We are, as humans, wonderful, amazing beings, and off track can do horrible, miserable things. So our focus really needs to be on a daily basis, realigning ourselves with our highest source, with our greatest good, with our creative source, so that we can, on a daily basis, maybe not as a total yet, but as an individual, as smaller groups, as communities, go into expansion. But the core has to be in alignment. And how better we are aligned in our balance, how better you can expand out into the greater communities, into the world, and really distribute that balance. Because there is an emotional intelligence in us, like the 100 monkey syndrome. Once you get it, it makes that spark to the next community and to the next community. But the idea is really holding that frequency, containing it throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year, so that consciousness, so that people can orient themselves on it like a lighthouse. So they know, okay, well, there's people that are still sane. That's great, so I can orient myself with that. I can focus on that, and I can get myself back to grounding. And really, that's why I want to have myself also out there. So for everyone who feels like at the moment lost or confused or is being exposed to so much media that it's already tried to get you out of balance, ground yourself back to the earth, align your whole energy system, allow your energy field to stabilize right now, and give yourself a moment where you have total balance that you can have in this moment. You don't need to go meditate for 20 days or 5 hours. You can have your balance right now in this moment, in this space, wherever you are, and it will be granted. Why? Because your intention, your energy has power.
And that's really today's show. This is really what we're talking about here today. When we say to everyone that's listening, this is really for us to be able to do and bring ourselves back to that soul-satisfying prosperity that we call abundance. That's the work that you do. Ataana, let's take a minute if we could and just let folks know, look, you're working with people every day on this. You're helping folks shift energy. I got to work with you, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm hoping that you and I will do the next show we do and talk about the changes as a result of that work. Because what Ataana helped me realize, for those of you out there, that even with me doing the work that I do every day, I will argue for my limitations and not even know it. And when you work with Ataana, something happens. You can't describe it, perhaps. I couldn't describe it. But what do I start to do? Wow, I start to look and send emails on things that I was stuck about. I start to take action in ways, to move things forward. I start to think outside the box. And the next thing I know, we're launching Psychic Talk Radio at a midnight hour. How did that happen? I spent a couple of hours with my friend here, Ataana Badili. So one of the things I'd love for you to do is how can people work with you? Because once the energy starts moving, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be back working with you again, but the energy starts moving, and we want to stay in the flow of that. So how can you help? How can people call you, work with you, and get this energy moving? Because this is an expansive year.
We can usually what I do, I set up 2-3 sessions back to back. And once we got the most immediate things taken care of, then it's being like a follow up, every month or every 2 months, and seeing what's the next project on the list, know. And what's really important is once you get to the core aspect, a lot of the things will start flowing. And that is like a immediate detox, and then getting new systems back into the place. And then after a while, just really as needed. Once I have, had 3 or 4 sessions, I have realtors that I'm working on, depending on what projects they're at, on a weekly basis. Where there's like spaces that need to be cleared, or energies from a contract, or there's still some trauma in the land or in the building, or if it's just a stagnation in between a deal or a contract. And then they ask too, and then sometimes we go into that. Sometimes we go into the core aspect of what's the next step in your expansion, what's the next step into your spiritual alignment, what's emotionally going on. And so it's really a full spectrum transformation. It's almost more like a mentoring at a later time. And then I usually give people the option to do the energy healing class, the 3-day energy healing class, and also to align themselves with the one-ments that I put out Wednesdays. And if they can call in and get the audio tape from the recording. And, I want to be a hub, a support group for people who were like me when I was at a place where I didn't have any support, and I had to keep that little candle going in the biggest storm, and I wasn't sure if I'm going to make it. Right. And I want to be that support, 2 extra hands and extra set of matches, to make sure that you can get through, because I'm doing this for the beings that need that support, and at a certain point, need to go into their growth process. And I want to be a support for that, because I know how that feels.
Yeah. And, the thing that I'll say about this too, and this really taps right into what we're talking about, Ataana, it's like there are many areas of our lives that we don't realize that need some help, need some detox help, need some other help. And the reason that I say that is I can point very specifically to points in time in my life where I was stuck, whether it's stuck in a job, stuck in a relationship. And sometimes, right, it doesn't always mean that you're going to leave that. But what kind of shifts, changes, what kinds of clearing, detoxing can be done? Because when we're in that place of pain and angst, right, I don't know about you, but I don't make very good decisions.
Well, the thing is, and I can appreciate what you're saying there. From that place of angst, we can have a strong, deep yearning to our core connection, and we have that deep yearning. But when we make out of lack consciousness a lackful decision, so to speak, then of course chances are it can turn into another limiting experience. And my work is really getting you to your full potential and to your unlimited potential. And once you get there, you have higher levels of prosperity. You have higher levels of life experiences, time, space, love, friends, and you have more of life that you're experiencing in a healthier way. A lot of this is geared towards well-beingness, because if we are in our well-beingness, there's really not much we need to be doing, because we're already perfectly being cared for. But a lot of us, we're just not well. We're not well because of the mental programs that we get from our lineage, from the planet, from past lives, from parallel lives, who knows from where. But a lot of this has to do with with clearing shop, with really clearing out what needs to be done, what's still active, what still has power, what is still my inner child doing. I mean, it's a full spectrum work, and I can detect where the stagnation is, and lovingly, gracefully support that transformation. It doesn't have to be radical. It can be graceful, because if you go about it step by step, if you have a memory loss on what you just did, you still just fall back one step. But if you make a major quantum leap, you still want to fill in the spaces in between, though. And I'm not saying the quantum leap is not something I'm desiring too, but it's also good to have the steps in between and go to full spectrum with all the patients, because here's the irony. If you say to your lesson, to God's lesson, to the universe's lesson that God or the universe throws at you, I'm going to take all the time that is needed to get this lesson. Ironically, God, the universe says, well, this is boring. They got already the lesson. Come on, let's move on to the next lesson.
Exactly.
Right? But a lot of the times we are so impatient. We just want to not feel it. We don't want to experience. And with that impatience, we're creating more impatience. And a lot of the times when we're saying, you know what, however long the time takes for me to get there. And listen, for me as a healer, I started on this journey, and I'm not the perfect healer, but every day I get better. Every day I get better. On my journey, many times I screwed up, said stuff, all kinds of experiences. But what I'm working on is getting better and better and better and better every day. I'm on my journey. There's like, if something that I didn't, if there's something that I didn't do like in the best way, and I say, man, I could have done that better, next day I'm going to make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that's why, as a healer, for example, I put all my patients in this and say, I want to be the best energy healer on the planet in my life, for myself, and then for my self-healing, because how more I support my own transformation, how more I can assist others. But at the same time, whatever it takes, every time to have the patience to apply it towards whatever it is that the lesson is as well. That's going to make a difference, because it will cut actually experience time down.
I love it. Ataana, what a great show today. Give out your website. And boy, we're not done. We'll be back next week. But anyway, tell folks the best way they can find out about you.
Yes. Please visit me on my website, ataanamethod.com. It's ATAANA and then method.com. And also on the YouTube channels, I have a lot of the movies, the videos out there, the healing, distance healing movies out there for you if you are in a predicament in this moment, or you are in a place where you need immediate support, or you don't have the finances for it right now. Just go on YouTube. You have the support there. If you build up or you want a session, come to ataanamethod.com, book a session there. Come to the one-minute recordings or the one-minute sessions every week. And you can also come in and check out the Crystal Healing Journey, the Omaha, the Soul Satisfying Prosperity CD. There's lots and lots.
I love it. Ataana Badili, everybody, a radio series that we are going to continue to do because energy does works. Lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against brought me down upon my knees. Oh, I beg and please, singing, come out of things unsaid. Shouldn't I pull off my head and
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Ataana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Ataana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, ataanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's ataanamethod.com.
Transformation.